Hello, this is Paul Milligan for InAVate TV at ISE 2015. I'm joined today by Graham Harrison, the Executive VP of Marketing for Biamp Systems. Welcome, Graham.
Thank you.
Everyone talks about collaboration, but what does it mean to Biamp?
Right. Biamp, we're really interested in the way people work and the way that changes over time. So in the past, people have had meetings in a very formal way. They've done video conferences. You come in, maybe you have a meeting next Tuesday at 10 o'clock to talk to your New York office. That's kind of very formal, very stilted, kind of old-fashioned. What happens more now is we might say, okay, well, let's have you, and a couple of people in New York, and a guy in Munich, and let's get together and talk about something right now. So the way people are doing business, the way people are being creative is changing. And what we're really passionate about is understanding that change, understanding the needs of that change, and then making the technology an enabler of the way people work, not a bottleneck to the way people work. So in meetings, it's often considered a success if you can get a video conference working within 10 minutes of the start of a meeting, and that's craziness. So how can we make it so that what we do enables the workflow that people want to have?
When we think of collaboration, we don't automatically think of audio. I mean, why do you think that is, and what can be done to change that?
Right, that's a great question. In our industry in general, not just in collaboration, it's kind of AV with a small a and a huge V. Video's sexy, video's, big screens, I like video. Yeah. But audio is how people communicate. If I watch a film when I'm doing the ironing, I can look down and iron, I can still keep going. If I have a video conference and the sound and the video fails, I have an audio conference. If I have a video conference and the audio fails, either I've got to be a really good lip reader or I've got to write things on a piece of paper and put them up here. So sound is really important, particularly in collaborative environments, because in collaborative environments, what people do is they're not looking at each other so much as sharing desktops and working on shared documents. So the screen is for what you're doing, and the audio is for how you're communicating. And what happens in small collaboration spaces is people put in speakerphones, or they even do it with their laptop speakers and microphones. And then you're having to struggle to hear what's going on. And the way high-tech companies work, at Biamp we have a lot of very big high-tech customers. And in many of those customers, people don't even have offices anymore. They spend the whole day going between these small collaborative spaces, having ad hoc meetings. And if they're spending their whole day struggling to hear the audio, they're getting headaches, they're getting stress-related illnesses, they're being less productive. So it's vitally important that we elevate the discussion to the business, not to how many MIPS our DSP has, or kind of what the esoteric niceties of our algorithms are, but how good sound can promote good business. So particularly in collaboration spaces, it's so easy to put in a nice display and a speakerphone or a starfish thing, and so vital to take the audio as seriously as you do the video, and to explain to the customers in terms they can understand, productivity, reduced absenteeism, this sort of thing. Unique advantages that their company can have over other companies if they get the audio right in their meeting spaces.
I mean, at present there's no clear definition of what a meeting or huddle room space is. I mean, what difficulties does that create then for a manufacturer?
Well, I think it's good that there's no clear definition, because what that's doing is saying, okay, I want closed huddle rooms, or I want just kind of spaces that people can go into. And our technology should enable that, should enable how people want to work. Yes, it creates difficulties, and some of those difficulties are things like, what happens if you move the furniture around all the time? Where do you put microphones, or where do you put loudspeakers? These are solvable difficulties with creative thinking. So how do we integrate technology into furniture so it can be moved around and replugged really easily? How do we look at combined electroacoustic solutions that allow you to have open collaborative spaces without annoying everyone around the place? So yeah, the challenges, but that's the fun of it. Creative solutions for the challenges. So that has to be our focus, not dictating to people how they work, but reacting to how people work and making the technology an enabler. And if we as an industry can do that, we will get the respect that we want to get, but don't always deserve, because we're making it difficult for people to do their jobs.
Graham, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.